Katsina Chief Judge says courts can't release bandits outside legal procedures. Journalist injured in Bauchi road crash. Federal government, Borno government repatriates 680 refugees from Cameroon. On the foreign scene, 3 African countries agreed to take back migrants after UK visa warning. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Now, the Chief Judge of Katsina State, Justice Musa Abubakar, has said courts have no power to release banditry suspects outside established legal procedures amid controversies surrounding the state government's peace talks with armed groups. Justice Abubakar said persons already convicted cannot be freed by the courts, adding that judicial intervention is limited to applications properly brought before the court in line with the law. In an interview, the Chief Judge explained that suspects awaiting trial may apply for bail or seek enforcement of their fundamental rights, where prosecutors fail to arraign them within a reasonable time. He, however, stressed that the judiciary cannot act arbitrarily or outside due process. The clarification comes amid public outrage over reports that the Katsina State government is seeking the release of about 71 detainees, some convicted and others awaiting trial, as part of a non-kinetic strategy to restore peace in banditry. Affected communities in Katsina State has escalated since about 2010, involving from cattle rustling into widespread armed violence characterized by kidnapping, village raids, and killings. Now, the United States has condemned the deadly attack on communities in Keyama local government area of Kwara State amid conflicting reports on casualties. While the Nigerian police confirmed 75 people were killed in Woro and Nuku communities, local sources and international observers say the death toll could be significantly higher. In a statement on X, the U.S. mission in Nigeria described the attack as horrific, noting that more than 160 people are feared dead, with many still unaccounted for. The mission welcomed President Bola Tinubu's directive to deploy security forces to the affected areas. The U.S. condemnation adds to international outrage following earlier rebukes from the United Nations and the Republic of Turkey. Now, 3 men have been charged in court over the gruesome killing of a housewife and her 6 children, a crime that continues to send shockwaves across communities. In Kano, the latest developments in a case that has gripped both the city and the nation raise urgent questions about public safety and the fight against violent crime. Abdul Aziz Ibrahim reports.
At Magistrate Court 2 in Kano, presided over by Chief Magistrate Awal Yusuf, 3 principal suspects, Umar Awalu, Isiaku Yakubu, and Yakubu Abdulaziz, were arraigned on an 8-count charge. The charges include conspiracy, criminal trespass, robbery, culpable homicide, rape, arson, possession of dangerous weapons, and inflicting injuries. Prosecutors allege that the men murdered Fatima Abubakar and her 6 children at Dorayi Chirenchi quarters on January 17, 2026. Investigators say Umar Awalu, a nephew of the deceased, conspired with the others to carry out the attack. Authorities also linked the suspects to a similar incident in November 2025, in which 2 housewives were killed and their bodies set ablaze at Tudun-Yola quarters. The court further ordered the remand of Umar Ali over allegations of collecting the eyes of 9-year-old Hafsat Awalu, allegedly removed by the first defendant after raping her. All the defendants pleaded not guilty. The case has been adjourned until March 11, 2026 for further mention. Outside the courtroom, residents say the killings have left them deeply traumatized. In Kano, many point to drug abuse, declining parental supervision, political thuggery, and youth marginalization as factors driving violent crime. Others are calling for stronger community policing and swift justice. With the situation in the country, I believe lack of enforcement is responsible for the surge in crime. Whoever commits a crime should get the corresponding punishment. You know, dissatisfaction with the system is what makes people resort to jungle justice. So I call on the government to enforce the laws to reduce these crimes. Those who are guilty, we want the government to administer the prescribed punishment. These crimes have made us very unhappy and are unacceptable. We hope justice will be achieved in the final judgment. Speaking after the arraignment, the Commissioner for Justice, Barrister Abdul Karim Mode, emphasized the government's resolve to pursue justice and strengthen public confidence in the rule of law. As the suspects remain in custody and the trial date approaches, Kano continues to grapple with the horror of these crimes. For many residents, the case is not only about justice for the victims, but also about restoring trust in community safety. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, troops of Operation Wellstroke have recorded fresh successes in security operations across Benue and Nasarawa states, killing an armed bandit and arresting suspected criminals. The intelligence-driven operations conducted between February 3rd and 5th, 2026 involved a joint task force of troops, police personnel, and the Benue State Civil Protection Guard. According to the acting media information officer of the operation, Lieutenant Ahmed Zubairu, troops sustained aggressive patrols in line with directives from the military high command. On February 3rd, troops engaged armed herders in Ayamba village, Kastina Ala local government area of Benue State, killing one bandit and recovering an AK-47 rifle, 2 magazines and 3 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition. In a separate operation on February 4th, troops arrested a 34-year-old suspected armed robber, Adam Paul, along the Asupe Ome Road in Obi local government area of Nasarawa State, following intelligence from a local hunter. The suspects are in custody as investigations continue. Now, operatives of the Kogi State Police Command, in collaboration with the Nigerian Army, local hunters and vigilante groups, have arrested 8 suspected criminal elements, including alleged informants during coordinated bush combing operations across parts of the state. A statement by the police public relations officer ASP Saliu Oiza Afusat says the operation involved intensive combing of forested and remote areas believed to be vulnerable to criminal activities. The police explained that the exercise is part of ongoing intelligence-led security measures aimed at disrupting and dismantling criminal networks. Ground operations were supported by aerial surveillance to track suspicious movements and identify hideouts. Preliminary investigations suggest some suspects may be informants aiding kidnapping syndicates. They are currently in custody while investigations continue. The command says the affected areas are now calm with sustained security presence, assuring residents of safety and urging them to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. Now, 13 journalists and 1 driver have sustained various injuries following a road accident along Yelwan Duguri in Alkaleri local government area of Bauchi State. The incident reportedly occurred after the driver attempting to overtake a convoy of Northeast Development Commission officials lost control of the vehicle. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
The accident occurred at about 11:20 a.m. shortly after the commissioning and handover of secondary school in Yelwanduguri community in Alkaleri local government area. An eyewitness said the driver, who had been left behind by the convoy, attempted to overtake at high speed, lost control of the vehicle, and veered off the road into the bush. Rescue operations were immediately carried out by other journalists who were not involved in the accident, with support from members of the local community. The injured victims received emergency medical attention at nearby Cottage Hospital in Yelwanduguri before ambulances arrived from Bauchi Metropolis to evacuate them to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital for proper treatment. Officials of the Nigerian Union of Journalists and Bauchi State government later visited the victims at the trauma center of the hospital.
Alhamdulillah, the doctors confirmed to us these are things that they can handle, and the government has already taken over all the expenses of this. The accident, as you know, it happened while our journalists were on duty to cover the visit of the Honorable Minister of Regional Development. And like I said, it's a sad day because we have our colleague who were on duty just to inform the world and the state and the federation what is going on, and this accident happened.
I saw what really happened, not I learned, because I was an eyewitness. I saw what really happened. It is very unfortunate that about 13 journalists were involved in an accident after they went out for an assignment, after the first assignment where the NEDC model school was commissioned and was handed over to the Bauchi State government. We are going to the next stage, at least to commission the project of the NEDC as well as to hand over to the state government again. And exactly this thing happened where about 14 people were involved in this accident. But Alhamdulillah, as at this moment, there is no loss of life. So we thank Almighty Allah, and you can see that they are receiving treatment right from the cottage hospital in Yalwanduguri. They have received professional treatment from the medical personnel in that hospital. Honestly, I was impressed with their performance and with their commitment.
People will be traveling day and night. People will be involved in kind of risks associated with our work. We have to make sacrifices and commitment to see that we meet the deadline. Our deadline is for us to get the best of the news items, and it's for us to prepare the news in its freshness and pass it to our audience. So in the course of doing that, yes, a lot of things will come our way. One of it is the road accident, which has been following our team this afternoon today, you see, and it calls for sympathy, and Alhamdulillah, the entire journalism family have shown strong solidarity. They have stood firmly behind those that are involved in that accident.
Security agencies describe the incident as a result of reckless and unprofessional driving, warning drivers attached to official convoys and media teams to exercise caution, obey speed limits, and prioritize safety at all times. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In another news, the Controller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to facilitating regional trade, securing transit cargo, and strengthening cross-border security cooperation with the Republic of Niger. He spoke on Friday, 6 February, during a high-level bilateral meeting with the Niger Republic Customs Administration, led by its Director General Mahamadou Yakuba, at the Customs House in Abuja. The meeting focused on easing transit bottlenecks, improving intelligence sharing, safeguarding cargo movements, and addressing shared security challenges along the Nigeria-Niger border. Adeniyi disclosed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved safe corridors to ensure smooth movement of transit trucks, assuring that cargo from Nigerian ports and airports destined for neighboring countries will be cleared within 48 hours.
For those transiting through the customs territory of Nigeria, that is, those that are coming from Apapa ports or airports that are transiting within Nigeria's territory, we will remain committed to our mandate of moving cargoes out of the ports, such cargoes, within 48 hours to ensure a smooth flow of trade, especially those goods in transits to our neighbors like the Republic of Niger. We have put in place measures to ensure compliance and to ensure that those cargo are not diverted outside the transit corridor.
Now, Now, the federal government's free C-section scheme launched in November 2024 under the Maternal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative was designed to remove costs as a barrier to emergency childbirth care. The program promises free or subsidized cesarean sections for poor and vulnerable women that selected public and private health facilities, but implementation appears to be a stumbling block for a program designed to bring relief. Tante Azal reports.
More than a year on, the life-saving policy is showing results, but it's also facing real challenges that limit its reach, especially in rural communities. According to the health minister, by April 2025, over 4,000 women had accessed free C-section services through the scheme. That number, officials say, represents lives potentially saved.
In relation to CS and CS problems, CS in relation to maternal and health and death and rest of them, what actually happens is that it's obvious that the roadmap for NHIS in Nigeria is not well specified to carry along those in the villages. If you watch very closely, it's majorly people that enroll there is civil servants and people working in some private sectors. And this thing is meant for the poor people. That's the essence of its innovation in the rural villages, so to reduce that maternal and infant deaths, but it's not going through. What actually should have done is that if you watch in the scenario of medical sciences in Nigeria, they're supposed to have people in doctors, nurses that will take care of these people in the villages on ground, so that they will be carried along.
But on the ground, many women, including those who need these services most, say they never knew the program existed.
I never hear it because the hospital that I'm attending before, I never hear anything about that this government is helping people. All less there's people that is following to help the needy, not be to give money from government to help women in bed.
I've not heard it before. I'm hearing it from you for the first time. Imagine me in town, I'm not even aware of it, talk less of people in the village. We don't have any healthcare system in my village. So you can imagine that people in my village are not even aware of it. I'm from Agaliga local government. That is Olamaboro local government.
For women in remote areas, the disconnect between policy and awareness can cost lives. Dr. Chukwudi says the lack of information is one of the biggest hurdles.
People canvassing, informing the masses the major things they have, because nobody knows the package of NHIS in the villages. Thereby, they are not even enrolling. Even if they enroll, do they have to have doctors on ground? It's not there. The nurses will not be there. The primary health care don't have such capacity. And that's, in an advanced country, it's supposed to be there. We're supposed to have a doctor that will be there to take care of a cesarean section and those that will even take care of all those women from family medicine before even going to cesarean.
Experts argue that awareness is only half the battle. They say getting more women registered with the National Health Insurance Authority is crucial. Registration, they explain, is often the key that unlocks access to the free C-section benefit. Without it, many women still bear the cost of emergency care or avoid hospitals altogether. Healthcare workers and advocates say that with better public information, stronger community engagement, and wider NHIA registration, more women could access timely care. Tante Azal, Trust TV, Abuja.
Now, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, under the leadership of Tanimu Turaki, has vowed to resist any attempt by supporters loyal to the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to take over the party's national headquarters at Wadata Plaza in Abuja. Describing the Wike-backed faction as aggressors, the Turaki-led leadership warned that the group should be held responsible for any breach of peace. The latest tension follows an announcement on Thursday by the factional National Caretaker Secretariat, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, who stated that the Independent National Electoral Commission headquarters and the group plans to take over the party secretariat on Monday. However, speaking again at the INEC office on Thursday, Anyanwu reaffirmed the faction's plan to occupy the secretariat. Reacting, the National Publicity Secretary of the Turaki-led leadership, Ini Ememobong, said the party had been formally notified of the intention of what he described as expelled members to forcibly or with the aid of security agencies gain access to the National Secretariat. Now, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested 9 suspected armed robbers linked to a residential robbery in Jikoyi. According to a statement issued on Friday by the command spokesperson, Josephine Ade, the suspects allegedly invaded a residence on January 18, 2026, making away with personal belongings, an undisclosed sum of money, and a Toyota Corolla vehicle. Ade said the suspects were tracked and arrested on January 26, 2026 at their hideout in Nasarawa State, where they were reportedly planning another robbery operation in the Asokoro area of the FCT. Items recovered from the suspects include 4 television sets, 9 laptops of various brands, 2 generators, solar batteries, a pumping machine, a DJ mixer, club lights, speakers, alcoholic beverages, a GoTV decoder, a knife, a gas cylinder, a home theater system, and 3 vehicles. Police investigations revealed that the suspects allegedly sold stolen vehicles to receivers in Kaduna and Kano states for amounts ranging between 550,000 and 650,000 naira. The FCT Police Command says investigations have been expanded to arrest the receivers of the stolen vehicles, while the suspects will be charged to court upon the conclusion of investigations. Now, the House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee has summoned the chairman of the 6 Federal Capital Territory Area Councils over alleged financial infractions amounting to over 100 billion naira, as contained in reports of the Auditor General. The affected councils are Abaji, Abuja Municipal Area Council Amak, Buari, Gwagwalada, Kuje, and Kwali. The 2021 audit report revealed widespread cases of unremitted pension payee, VAT, and withholding taxes, failure to update fixed asset registers, and poorly accounted expenditures across the councils. According to the report, the councils recorded outstanding liabilities of 7.65 billion naira as of December 31st, 2021, owed to revenue authorities, pension fund administrators, and contractors. A breakdown shows Amak with 2.19 billion naira, Buari 1.49 billion naira, Kwali 1.46 billion naira, Gwagwalada 1.01 billion naira, Kuje 892.2 million naira, and Abaji 593.8 million naira in liabilities. The Auditor General also faulted the councils for failing to properly document non-current assets. In Gwagwalada alone, assets valued at 336 million naira were not adequately recorded, exposing them to a possible loss. Now, the Joint Health Sector Unions has suspended its 84-day nationwide strike that crippled government-owned hospitals across Nigeria. The national president of Johesu, Kabir Minjibril, confirmed the development on Friday via a text message. The suspension followed a last-minute intervention by the Federal Ministry of Labour last Thursday night. The strike, which entered its 84th day on Friday, had paralyzed activities in public hospitals nationwide, leaving patients stranded and forcing many to seek medical care outside government health facilities. Johesu, which represents health workers in pharmacies, laboratories and other support services, had insisted the strike would continue until the federal government implements the report of the Technical Committee on the Adjustment of the Consolidated Health Salary Structure submitted since 2021. The prolonged industrial action also prompted the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress to issue a 14-day ultimatum in solidarity with the striking health workers. In Lagos, residents are raising concerns as the Agege Railway Corridor increasingly becomes an illegal dumping ground. Piles of household waste and debris link the tracks, creating not only an eyesore but a serious safety and environmental risk. Observers say some individuals are jumping low, unsecured fences to dump refuse and even walk freely along the tracks, putting themselves at risk. The report.
Once a symbol of modern rail transport, the Agege railway line is now battling a growing environmental risk. Household waste, plastics, and debris are scattered along sections of the track, reportedly dumped by individuals who jump low, unsecured perimeter fences. The problem is compounded by people using the railway as a shortcut, walking along the tracks and dumping refuse at corners of the pedestrian bridge. This creates not only an environmental hazard, but also serious safety risk, especially with active train operations. Residents are calling on the Lagos State government and relevant agencies to clear the waste, repair damaged fences, and enforce laws to stop illegal dumping and trespassing.
It is not good for the environment and the people around. If the management has a cleaning service that is doing it for them, they should call them, let them always to keep the environment clean, so that at least people that are the passerby, and some people are still sitting down here and they will be inhaling the odor, which is not good for their health. So if they have the cleaning service, let them tell them that they should be on ground to be cleaning it, and they should keep their wet things around so that people can easily drop their refuse inside the waste bin.
Yeah, because number one is the president was down, and number two is affecting his pets. First of all, they will pack the refuse. After packing it, they will not provide another asbestos thing where they will be able to pour the refuse. And after pouring the refuse, they will need to educate them, to understand, to be able to comply to what the law said. And if they decided to go against the law, they will tell them that this is what and what and what the offense will be, and this is what they will able to understand, to make it prosecute people, so that people will be able to apply and comply. We get here something else. So the environmental need to come and do something about it. They should try and employ people to be watching them. So that's what we know.
I pray for our government to have a look at it and do something that is better, that will be good for the nation. So that, and then this thing can cause epidemic, can be an epidemic area like this. So for it not to be like that, we should be quickly find a solution to it.
The dirty here is too much, and this thing is government already knows about it. And because why this dirty is here is because there's no any place that people will drop their own dirty. That's why. There's nowhere to get, nowhere. No trash box, no any, nothing. That's why, nothing. There's nothing. The government has to put some places that they will put their cars, that they will be dropping dirty and take it away.
Residents say urgent action is needed to ensure the railway remains safe, clean, and strictly off limits to pedestrians.
This is News Hour on Trust TV, coming up after the break. Federal government, Borno government repatriates 680 refugees from Cameroon. Do stay with us, more news when we return. Now moving on to more stories. The federal government and the Borno state government has concluded the repatriation of Nigerian refugees from Cameroon with a return of 680 persons to Banking Town in Bama local government area of the state. The returnees, comprising 162 households, arrived from the Minario refugee camp in Cameroon, marking the fourth and final batch under the ongoing repatriation program, supported by NCRMIDP and UNHCR. The exercise began on January 27, 2026, with earlier batches returned to Polka and Goza local government area and Banki in Bama local government area. Chairman of the Repatriation Committee, Lawan Wakilbe, warned against abusing the process and said defaulters risk exclusion from housing and livelihood support. Governor Babagana Zulum approved a return package including 100,000 naira per household, 20,000 naira per wife, as well as relief materials. Now, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Adamawa State has firmly dismissed recent rumors suggesting that Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri is defecting to the All Progressive Congress APC. The party made these positions clear during a stakeholders meeting in Madagali local government area, where Governor Fintiri joined party faithful to celebrate the Adamawa State PDP chairman, Hamza Madagali. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo reports.
Madagali local government area, home to both Governor Umaru Fintiri and the PDP state chairman, came alive as party supporters trooped out in large numbers. The gathering, marked by songs, solidarity and party colors, was also an opportunity to address growing speculation making the rounds in some quarters that the Adamawa state governor had pitched his tent with the All Progressive Congress. But the PDP leadership wasted no time in setting the record straight. Party leaders described the defection claims as unfounded, stressing that the PDP in Adamawa State remains united, resilient, and firmly rooted at the grassroots.
PDP is on ground at the grassroots and on ground in Adamawa State.
Stakeholders urged members to stay focused and loyal, warning that distractions and opposition propaganda should not derail the party's mission. They maintain that the PDP's strength lies in its unity and performance, not rumors.
Everybody you see here are PDP loyalists. They are sons and daughters of Madagali and people of Adamawa State.
PDP is strongly alive in Adamawa State.
Then the governor will show us the direction, will cause us to know where to go. I will follow him because we are loyal members.
Party leaders concluded that the true test of political loyalty is action, not speculation, insisting that Governor Fintiri remains a committed leader of the PDP. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
And now we move to Kaduna State, where the state governor Obasani has brought relief to communities along the Pambegua Kahutu Karu Road, which have yearned for a reliable road network for nearly 5 decades. The governor on Tuesday commissioned the 22-kilometer road, complete with a span bridge linking Kubwa and Karu local government area. The report.
Speaking at the ceremony, Governor Sani recalled that when he flagged off the project on August 27, 2024, the journey from Pambegua to Kauru took about an hour. He noted, however, that the same trip now takes less than 12 minutes following the completion of the road. According to the governor, Kauru was among the 12 local government areas in the state that had not benefited from a single road project in the past 12 years. He explained that although previous administrations recognized the importance of the route and made attempts to construct it, the project remained incomplete for various reasons. Governor Sani said the commissioning of the road reflects a core principle of his administration that promises made to the people must be kept.
We are commissioning today is a 22-kilometer standard asphaltic road that begins at Fambegwa in Kubau local government area through Kahuta and terminates at Kaulu town in Kaulu local government area with a 3-span water bridge. It was designed to improve mobility, facilitate trade, and expand access to social services for the people who live and work along this corridor.
The governor added that the project executed by his administration were not selected at random, but guided by data, equity, and a deliberate effort to correct years of imbalance in access and opportunity across the state. He stressed that improved road access will significantly benefit emergency services, students, farmers, and traders, easing movement to essential services and markets.
Since assuming office, our administration has embarked on an ambitious but deliberate program of infrastructure renewal. We have initiated the construction of 140 roads spanning over 1,335 kilometers across Kaduna State, 3 senatorial zones. These projects were not chosen at random. They were guided by data, equity, and a firm resolve to correct years of imbalance in access and opportunity.
Community leaders, including traditional rulers, expressed gratitude to the governor for bringing long-awaited development to the area. The governor also promised to construct township roads within Kauru and end nearly 20 years of electricity blackout in the town caused by the absence of power supply infrastructure.
And now to Adamawa State, where the state governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri has taken his grassroots governance drive to Ganye local government area, engaging residents in a town hall meeting to strengthen citizen participation. The initiative is part of the administration's bottom-up approach aimed at gathering ideas, identifying community needs, and shaping government policies and programs across the state. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo reports.
This is the federal housing estate in Giri. Now we're in a new look after the completion of an upgraded road network. The project includes paved roads, reinforced concrete drains, culverts, and a 3.5-kilometer stormwater drainage system. Officials say the goal is simple: better movement, less flooding, and safer streets for residents. For people living here, the change is clear. Many say they struggle with poor access erosion before now, especially during the rainy season. The Commissioner for Works, Adamawa, calls the project a major step in the state's infrastructure drive. He says it will improve daily life and support small businesses within the estate.
It is a public asset delivered with public resources, and I therefore urge residents to take full ownership of it and use it responsibly and protect the drainage infrastructure, most importantly, to ensure its sustainability.
Special guest at the event, former Senate President Bukola Saraki praises Governor Ahmed Fintiri for focusing on projects that directly affect communities.
This is what governance is about: providing infrastructure that will improve the lives of our people. The governor has played his own part, and I hope and pray that the community will play their own part in looking after this road and maintaining it for the good use of these people.
Governor Fintiri says the project reflects his promise to expand infrastructure across the state. He adds that more communities will benefit from similar developments.
What we flag off then, we are commissioning today. From the moment we assume leadership, we pledge that projects undertaken by this administration will be seen through completion. We will not tolerate abandoned works or fading promises. We will finish what we start, and we will ensure that what we deliver stands the test of time.
With the formal commissioning done, residents of the federal housing estate in Giri now have smoother roads and improved drainage, a change many hope will last for years. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. The news continues after the break. Do stay with us.
Welcome to Trust TV, your gateway to the captivating essence of Nigerian history, culture, and society.
And this is where the hydroelectric power dam is supposed to be constructed.
Delve into the depths of Nigeria's past with our insightful documentaries unraveling the intricacies of ancient civilizations and colonial influences that have shaped the nation's identity. Immerse yourself in the vibrant Nigerian traditions and customs as we showcase the diverse cultural landscape.
The early history of human existence can be traced to the heart of northern Nigeria. Here, archaeologists found evidence of a group of people who sculpted clay and developed tools to smelt iron.
From lively festivals to time-honored rituals, Trust TV encapsulates the spirit of Nigeria's dynamic heritage. Experience an authentic portrayal of contemporary Nigerian culture that is both engaging and enriching.
With over 250 ethnicities, over 500 languages, and a youthful population, Nigeria has a truly diverse demographic advantage.
Don't miss out on Trust TV's amazing and impactful storytelling. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance, and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty.
It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira exchange rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to tell central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast.
Number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation, and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
In a world where every second counts, staying informed is your greatest asset. Welcome to Business Daily on Trust TV, your source for the latest financial insight and expert analysis.
If you look at that data also, you will notice that the export of Nigeria to Africa is still very small.
The law says any player that has more than 40% of the market share is dominant.
At Business Daily, we bring you credible and authoritative insights, economic policies, and investment opportunities that matter most to you.
Nigeria has a very great potential. We have recognized the need to reform our economic program, and we're doing so.
They address the happenings around the globe in the world of business, from emerging markets to established economies.
If you want your currency to float, you must have something to sell.
Join us every day from Monday to Friday for Business Daily and Trust TV. Together, let's document the Nigerian story while keeping you informed about global business trends.
Now, the Naira, depreciated against the United States dollar on Thursday at the official foreign exchange market, following 2 days of strong gains. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria show that the Naira weakened to 1,366 Naira 6 kobo to the dollar from 1,358 Naira 28 kobo recovered on Wednesday. These represent a day-on-day loss of 7 Naira 78 kobo. At the parallel market, the Naira remained stable, exchanging at 1,460 Naira to the dollar, unchanged from the previous day. The development comes as Nigeria's external reserves stood at $46.81 billion as of February 4th, 2026, according to the Apex Bank. Recall that the Naira had gained over 32 Naira between Tuesday and Wednesday at the official market. Now, away from Nigeria, 3 African countries, Namibia, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, have agreed to accept the return of foreign offenders and migrants living illegally in the United Kingdom, following a visa sanction warning by the UK government. The agreements have reached after the UK Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood warned that countries refusing to cooperate on deportation could face visa restrictions for their citizens. The UK Home Office said returns to the 3 countries had previously been delayed due to poor cooperation on processed documents and administrative bottlenecks, describing the process as obstructive. Under the new arrangements, illegal migrants and foreign national offenders from the 3 countries will now be returned, with the UK government estimating that over 3,000 people could be affected. In the year ending September 2025, the UK recorded 36,475 deportations and returns, an 11% increase compared to the previous year. For sports updates, let's join Adeni Ajishafe.
Solid Heat basketball team have booked their place in the semi-final of the 5th edition of Andoma Peace and Unity Basketball Tournament after an impressive run in Lafia and Nasarawa State. The Heat stormed through men's Group A, finishing top with a perfect record in 3 wins from 3 games to earn 6 points. Suleja Bulldogs also advanced, squeezing into the last 4 with 5 points from 2 victories and a defeat. However, Plateau Peaks feeder and Mibaha Chinas bowed out in Group A after failing to pick point. In men's Group B, Taraba Hurricanes won all 3 to finish as group leaders, while City Stars followed as runners-up with 5 points, as Jewel Bills and Katsina United saw their campaign end at group stage. In women's category, 4 teams emerged as semi-finalists. Titan top Group A with dominance. Ham Warriors finished as Group B leaders. Plateau Rocks and City Sparks complete the final 4. And still in basketball, Nigerian basketball team has been confirmed among the nations that will compete in the men's 3x3 basketball event at Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. The competition scheduled to take place at the SEC Center from 24th to 29th July. We featured high-tempo, half-court version of basketball for speed, skills, and festival-like atmosphere. Games are played with 3 athletes per side on a single hoop, using a 12-second shot clock, with games lasting 10 minutes or ending once a team hits 21 points. Nigeria will make its debut in the men's draw alongside fellow first-timer Guyana and Malaysia, as the tournament expands from 8 teams per gender at Birmingham 2022 to 12 teams in Glasgow, an indication of 3x3 basketball rising international appeal. The men's team include Australia, Cayman Island, Fiji, Guyana, Jamaica, Kenya, Malaysia, New Zealand, Nigeria, Scotland, Singapore, and 1 European team yet to be confirmed. Meanwhile, host nation Scotland has secured automatic qualification. Commonwealth Games Sport Director Anne Louise Morgan described the format as one of the most exciting in global sport, noting that its energetic and crowd-friendly nature align with youthful spirit of the games, as the draw and match schedule for the event are expected to be released later. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
With that, we've come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Thanks for watching and good night.